Without much ado, I would like to welcome him, and all the participants will really relish his session, and I hope that you will have a very fruitful session. Over to Dr. Julian for the rest of the session. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for that wonderful welcome address and introduction of Father Maria. So we welcome Father. Are you ready, Father?
Yes,
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 welcome you, Father. Welcome.
yes. True. All right, good evening, everybody. I hope you're able to hear me.
Very
First of
Yes.
all,
Yes, Father, you are audible, Father.
thank you so much. Respected Professor Aruldas, the head of the Department of English in Secretariat College, and Dr. Julian, who is the convener. And especially, I'm happy to see Dr. Tamil Mani is going to be the resource person tomorrow. And all the faculty members from across the country. A very good evening to one and all. Thanks for having me here, and thanks for inviting and giving me an opportunity to share some of my experiences here. I do not know if it is going to be scholarly, that you will judge, but definitely I would like to bring in some of my experience in teaching. I hope you will benefit from such a sharing. So, thank you once again for this opportunity. I'm very glad to share some of my experiences with you. I'm glad that we are attending this two-day virtual faculty development program organized by Secretariat College, Tirupattur. And thanks, Julian, once again for this opportunity. So the topic that I'm going to take for today, it's the need for change in teaching pedagogies in the English classroom, new perspectives. So this is what is the topic for today. So I'm sharing my screen with you. I hope you are going to see that. Am I clear with this?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, Father. Yes, clear.
All right. Why change is needed? Why change is needed? That is because of the limitations of the traditional lecture-based methods that normally it comes automatically to us, and then that's what actually makes the students to get really bored or disengaged. And that's the point next. Declining student engagement and motivation. And especially those of us who are in the teaching line, after COVID, we see a sea of change in the attention level of our students. And that too, yesterday I was just going through some of the researches. I was shocked to see something in the sense that the digital natives, their attention span is only 8 seconds. 8 seconds. I said, this is very disturbing. That actually brings us to the real point of engagement. I would like to spend some time on this particular topic, engagement, because this is going to be the driving force behind our teaching. And of course, the role of technology and globalization in reshaping education, it is going to give us the the present perspective, as well as it is also going to focus on the future perspectives. So kindly allow me to speak something on student engagement and motivation. The simple reason is this. I hope I am clear now. Is it okay?
Yes,
Let me
yes,
see
yes.
yeah. I've just changed my presentation. So, enhancing students' engagement for a better teaching learning experience. Okay, it is just topic within the topic. Okay, why am I going in for this engagement? I personally believe that student engagement is the buzzword today. If at all there should be some learning, if at all there is involved learning, then engagement is very important. Student engagement is very, very important. Without student engagement, there is no learning. And especially in the area of language teaching and learning, students need to be totally engaged in learning, should be totally engaged in the activities of the classroom. If they are not engaged, they may be simply present there physically and no learning would take place. So that is the central point I just want to make here. So student engagement is the central point which makes or breaks the learning. So if there is engagement, then there is learning. And this particular word, student engagement, it was first introduced by John Dewey in the late 1800s. It was of course, he was the educational reformer and a philosopher. And the key idea is this: when students are engaged, they are motivated and learning happens more easily, especially in a language classroom. I have added these last 2, 3 words. Dewey's words were, when students are engaged, they are motivated.
Excuse me, Father.
Yes,
The slide is not moving.
not moving. Is it moving?
It's not moving. This is the first slide. This is the first slide, Father.
First slide, I'm sorry. First slide, is this there?
The first slide is being shown, Father.
Okay. Second slide, is it moving now?
No, Father.
Oh. Okay, 1 minute. Oh.
Not to open.
Yeah. So now please tell me whether it is moving.
Now the presentation is switched off, Father.
Switched off. 1 sec, please.
Screen share.
Sir, is it clear now?
Yes, Father, it's visible now. The first slide. Yes.
Is the
Second.
slide moving now?
Yes, Father.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Sorry, I didn't realize it. Right. So, as I said, student engagement is an educational buzzword today. It was introduced by John Dewey, and he is an educational reformer and a philosopher. And I said the key idea here is, when students are engaged, they are motivated and learning happens more easily. So this is his idea. Then I've just added a few other words like in a language classroom. So in a language classroom, more than any other normal classrooms, the engagement is so very vital, so very important. If the students are engaged, language learning definitely takes place. And if the language learning happens, which means they are engaged. So we can say that. Now, what is student engagement? The student engagement refers to the degree of attention, curiosity, interest, optimism, and passion that students show when they are learning or being taught, which extends to the level of motivation they have to learn and progress in their education. So, this is in short what is student engagement. That is the degree of attention and curiosity and their personal interest. This is what actually makes student engagement very important for any learning, especially with regard to language, because language learning also involves more emotions. So emotional connect actually helps language learning better, and that is the reason why student engagement in language learning classroom is very, very important. Now, this engagement, of course, to be more global, it is not only their personal interest. Student engagement may also refer to the ways in which student leaders, educators, and other adults might engage students more fully in the governance and decision making processes. Excuse me, sorry, I'm once again. Do you see the slides moving?
No, Father, no, Father. Same slide.
No, Father.
I have turned on already.
You can even go directly to the second slide, sir.
Do you
Just
see
click on
the
the second slide, Father.
Okay, sure, I'll do that. I'll do that.
No, further.
Kindly
Otherwise, you
go
can
to the
click on the
number 2
second.
slide.
Okay.
Go to the second slide, sir.
I'm in the second slide right now.
Then press the third one.
Third one, yes, I already pressed the third one. I wonder why it is.
You're not pressing from there. It's on the left side. I can see there. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's visible, Father.
Okay,
It's
I
turning.
think I better use this instead of going for the full view. I think let me go for this. All right, fine. Is it moving now for you?
Yes.
Yes,
Now it's
Father.
moving.
Yes.
Okay, fine. I'll just move it from the side. No problem. Yeah. All right. So I was just speaking about, I'm sorry, very sorry about this. Okay. The student engagement, it refers to the degree of attention, curiosity, and the interest. With that, I just stop here. And also, the student engagement also means also the way in which the school leaders, educators, and other adults might engage the students more fully in the governance and decision making process. Here, I would like to mention something on decision making process. You know very well, in English language teaching, the previous model had been teacher centric. Everything is decided by the teacher. What to teach, how to teach, how much to teach, when to teach, everything is normally decided by the teacher. We call this particular model as a teacher centric language teaching. Today, we are talking about student centric teaching, which is involving the students in their language learning process. In that, what to learn, how much to learn, how to learn, all these are decided by the students along with the teacher. So here, in the decision making process, the students' engagement is also very important. Now, there are some findings from some research studies which says engaged students are 2.5 times more likely to get excellent grades and do well in studies, and also 4.5 times more hopeful about the future than their actively disengaged peers. So this more or less tells us how engagement is very important. And also other findings also tell us that 36% of higher rate of students achieving the satisfactory requirement for post-secondary readiness in mathematics. And for us, that's why I made writing little bigger. For us, 65% higher rate of students achieving the satisfactory requirement for post-secondary readiness in writing happens when they are engaged. And also 129% higher rate of student exceeding progress in all subjects. And also beyond the academic benefits, increased attendance and improvement in behavior is also observed when people are engaged. And also, it is something very tricky here, you see, how to measure student engagement. And the answer is very simple. It is very hard. It is very hard to find and it is difficult to measure. But there are few indicators. These engaged students are active. They are very actively involved in the classroom. And also, we can recognize their engagement through their attention, their paying of attention, their taking notes, their listening, their interactivity, that is asking questions and responding to questions, their participation, and the way they react, according to Ben Johnson. So this is how we can know that students are actually engaged in the classroom. And especially it is true with regard to language classroom. Unless they are engaged and they are involved and their attention is fully there in the classroom activities, then no language learning takes place. And also, how to increase the student engagement. So there are 5 different elements or 5 different aspects are actually presented here. That is, first of all, to create a good classroom climate. Now, what do you mean by that? This can be created through teachers, when they enter the classroom, the mood of the students varies. The mood of the students varies. Some students are welcomed happily and others are not. Why? You know very well what is the reason. That is the reason, I used to tell my staff members here, the first few classes are very, very important. That the students observe you. They observe everything about you. The way you conduct yourself in the class, your knowledge is also very well, the students can very clearly gauge you and they can tell you in matter of 2 to 3 hours time how good you are or how bad you are. And the students will start, interacting with you or responding to you, or rather reacting to you in the way how they look at you, how they actually weigh you. And that is very, very important. If the students see that you are sincere, if the students see that you are prepared, if the students see that you are interested in the students, very importantly, then the students reaction is very different. And that what actually brings us to this point. The climate you create in the classroom has a direct effect on the learning of the students. Managing the climate of the classroom is important to maximizing learning process. In other words, a good classroom climate encourages good student engagement. Therefore, it is very, very important. So this is that. The next one is actually the second aspect. Nurture relationships form caring relationships. Okay, nurture relationships. It is very important. Why? It is the relationship actually that guides the students. It is the relationship actually which actually guide the staff and the student relationship to a very great extent. Actually, the relationships matter a lot. It starts with knowing a student's name and recognizing a student. It starts from there. That is, how you value them depends on whether you are ready to learn their names. And it doesn't depend on the age factor. Everyone likes to be called by their name. Everybody likes to be smiled at. And the teachers inspire students and create a positive environment. And the students are motivated and encouraged to participate and grow. Okay. Excuse me, are the slides moving, please?
Yes, Father.
Is it okay? Fine. So 98% of the students believe a good teacher can change the course of a student's life. And 88% of the students said they had a teacher who had a significant positive impact on their life. All right. So this is actually telling us that nurturing relationship is really very important. And the third aspect is creating meaningful work in the classroom. That means if a student is not reasonably challenged by the work in the classroom or does not find it stimulating, the students will not be engaged. Therefore, the students should view the actual work given to them as meaningful and it is worthy of their time and effort. This normally happens when a teacher is able to understand what the student requires, what the student's level is actually, and if the student is able to the teacher is able to respond to the student's needs, then the students really feel that the teacher is prepared. That is very important. Connecting it with the student's previous knowledge and experiences, highlighting the value of an assigned activity in personally relevant ways when and how it is used in real life. That means what you teach should respond to real life situations. Then when they are responding to real life situations and once the students feel that it is relevant, then the students will automatically be engaged. So personalize it, curriculum, pace of learning, as well as the technology. How to increase the students' engagement, foster autonomy. This is the fourth aspect. That means just, come to the last, it fosters a sense of ownership over their learning because the students have made choices and their choice is heard. The responsibility shifts to them. It is through each student's effort and determination that progress will occur. It will demand, which demands that they be engaged. Therefore, once the students are very clear that they are given the choice and that we make them responsible for their learning, we actually we make them to get engaged in their learning. Dear friends, this is the fourth aspect, and the final aspect is to increase the self-efficacy and competency. That is, challenge our students in positive and productive ways to help them learn and grow. That is, creating a challenging classroom environment also enhances students' engagement. When teachers follow up regularly, give clear feedback, and genuinely accept and answer questions, students are set up to engage and grow. This is very, very important, dear staff members. That is, the students, when they know that they are being followed up regularly and the feedback is given regularly, when you conduct a test, when you give an assignment, when you give the feedback as early as possible, and the students immediately recognize that we are interested in their growth, we are interested in them, then you can expect a very good reciprocal response actually from the students. This is very important. And also accept and answer questions from the students. All these actually reflect our readiness to accept the students' engagement. All these make all the difference in our teaching. And finally, it says, when students are engaged, they are motivated, and learning happens more easily in a language classroom. So this is very important with regard to engagement in a classroom. So, dear friends, this is the first part. I just wanted to present it to you because language engagement is very important. Engagement in the classroom is really very, very important. And that is the reason why I just wanted to bring this point, that is of engagement. Now let me open the other one. I hope my screen is clear.
Yes, yes, sir.
Clear? Okay. All right.
Yes, yes, sir.
Is my screen changing?
Yes, yes, it's changing.
All right. So let me come back. Why change is needed now in the language classroom? I told you already the limitation of the traditional lecture-based methods. You know very well what is happening with our lecture-based methods. The students are not that very much engaged, and their motivation level is very low. And that is the point. That's the reason why I went on to the second one, that is student engagement and motivation. And the third one, dear friends, right now, the technology is taking the world by storm. So, technology is now part and parcel of our learning, and especially a language classroom is full of technology, and it has to be full of technology. Otherwise, it is not going to be helpful. All right. Now, please tell me when the slide is moving. Is the slide moving now? Hello? Is the slide moving?
No, Father, it's not
No,
moving.
Father.
Is it moving? No. Okay, no problem. Is it moving now?
Yes, Father.
Yes, Father, it's
All right,
moving.
thank you. Now, the first of all, understanding the current teaching pedagogies. Right now, the traditional method in Indian classrooms, you know very well, the grammar translation method, it is the mother of all methods. But still, in our Indian classrooms, in most of the classrooms, grammar translation method is ruling. You know, there are four reasons why the grammar translation method is still ruling. You know the reasons. First of all, our teachers learned through grammar translation method, therefore they feel very confident using this particular method. That is one. Second, this method does not require a native speaker as a teacher. And the third reason is that this grammar translation method actually gives a sense of control to the teacher, saying that, hello, I know all the rules. You learn from me. So, me and you, I teach, you learn. That's all. It gives a sense of control to the teachers. And the teachers are very happy with this. And the last one is grammar translation method is very good for large classrooms. You know very well, our classrooms are large. It is very easy to go for grammar translation method. It is very easy for us. But about learning outcome, it is doubtful. Therefore, grammar translation method, it encourages rote learning and memorization, and it doesn't help very much, especially for language. It doesn't help very much in language teaching and learning, and that is the reason why we need to keep moving. And lecture based teaching with minimal student interaction, that is student centered, is very not very good, and it doesn't help in much, it doesn't help at all. So the need for multimodal literacy is now very much advocated. That means we are using text, we are using images, we are using audio, we are using video, and we are using all the gestures. All these are all what we call multimodal. Today we are trying to advocate all that. And also, the focus for us mainly, it is on examinations rather than real life applications. That is, you have come to learn a language. No, we have come to learn a language. Yes, language to answer questions in the examinations, and that's what actually is actually given more and more importance, because when they go for any entrance examinations, no problem about language. No languages questions are asked from there. For them, it is enough that they pass. So enough minimum importance is given for the languages in many of the classrooms. Naturally, what happens? Our entire system is examination oriented. And that is the reason why one of my scholars doing a research and evaluating the curriculum of Tamil Nadu here, everything is there. All LSRW, all aspects of a language, it is there. But importance is given for writing. Listening, speaking, very, very, very little. So the focus is on mark scoring. And that actually brings us to the point which is going to come later on, evaluation. You know very well, dear friends, what is not evaluated, it is not studied. Evaluation happens only, in the writing mode. That is the reason why everybody goes for writing mode. In my own research, the finding was very clear. The parents want speaking, but the teachers and the school managements and the college managements, they would like to focus on writing. The parents would like to see their children speaking the language, but the teachers are happy and satisfied with the marks the students score in the written examinations. And this is the real tragedy in our classrooms. So this is a real challenge. And also in the traditional approach, the lack of critical thinking and creativity is there. Okay, the lack of creativity, critical thinking and creativity, we see that. And right now we talk about what is called 21st century skills. When we talk about 21st century skills, we know very well about critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, real life, real life situations. All these are very much focused, and 21st century skills require a different type of an approach, different from the traditional approach. And that is naturally the students struggle with the spoken English despite a strong theoretical knowledge. Students, maybe they are learning, they may know all the rules and regulations, but knowing knowledge is one thing, but application of knowledge is totally different, a different ball game altogether. Therefore, this problem and the limited exposure to authentic language use is minimum. In the normal classrooms, it is very, very minimum. And that is the reason why, dear friends, we need to go for a change. Okay? And the need for change also comes from other aspects. That is post-method pedagogy. Post-method pedagogy or post-method era, you know that it is by B. Kumara Vadivelu from San Jose State University, USA. And I'm sure all of you know him quite very well. You know that there are two Indians who are known globally for ELT. One is N.S. Prabhu, we know of happy memories. He passed away just, I think, 2 or 3 months back, he passed away. The first one, globally known for TBLT, the famous Bangalore project we know very well. The second one is B. Kumara Vadivelu. Both are from actually from South India. Actually, they are from here, Bangalore. From Bangalore, N.S. Prabhu is from Bangalore, and Kumara Vadivelu is here from Tamil Nadu. Now, these two are internationally acclaimed ELT specialists, known all over the world. Now, this aspect of post-method pedagogy is put forward, this idea is put forward by Kumara Vadivelu. What does he say? The methods era, so many methods. After the direct method, so many methods came into being from the late 19th century and early and 20th century also. Number of the methods starting from that oral approach and situational language teaching, audio lingualism, then you have the CLT, communicative language teaching, then you have other thing, whole language suggestopedia, okay, neuro-linguistic programming, then TBLT, then you have content-based instruction, you have community, okay, community language learning, you name anything, so many multiple intelligence, so many methods. Then we ask a question, which is the best method? And finally, we get the answer. One size doesn't fit all. There is no one method which is the best method. And Kumara Vadivelu, he actually brings his insight, saying that would fit everybody, that would satisfy everybody. Then how do we go about? And teacher should have a clear understanding and knowledge about all the methods. Since the teacher knows the students well, because the teacher knows and understands the level of the students, and it is the teacher who knows the present needs of the students and the future needs of the students, it is the teacher who is in a good position to know exactly the need of the students. Therefore, it is the teacher who should select the best aspects from different methods, put together, and make a method which is very responsive to the students' needs. This is what we call post-method pedagogy. So right now we are at this level. So we don't take one particular method and try to impose on the students, but rather a very interested teacher, a teacher who knows and understands the students well and their needs. It is that teacher or those teachers who would be the best ELT practitioners. So they will be in a position to make their own new method, the combination, and present it to the people. So that is what we call post-method pedagogy. Therefore, we need to have this clear understanding. That is the role of the teachers. It's very important. The next one is the impact of globalization and technology. Dear friends, right now we know English is a global language today. It's a lingua franca of the world. It is English which is actually linking the people across the globe. And also we know very well, in the current scenario, English, it is the language of research. English is the language of research publication. It is the language of the internet. Anything that you want to learn, anything new you want to find, you can find it on the internet, and English makes you to find it for you. And more than anything, dear friends, with so many thousands of languages across the world, it is said more than 70% of the internet is in English. That tells us the reach of English. Therefore, the reach of English as a global language, which is so very important. So this globalization makes language, especially English, so very important. So, and also the current situation of the impact of technology, we need to take in. All these are not taken that very much seriously in our classroom, especially in the language classrooms. Therefore, the impact of globalization and technology makes us to be open to some changes in our classroom setting. The next one is changing student profiles. You know very well what is happening to our students. The digital native learners, you know, we people, especially, we are either digital immigrants or we are very, very new to these. Thank God we had COVID. You know, I'm just looking at some positive elements of COVID. What happened to us here in this particular college when COVID suddenly struck, when students were locked in their homes, then we faculty members came together. We came to learn For many of us, that was the first time we heard about the name online teaching. We came to know about what is the Gmeet, what is the Zoom, and all these. We came to know of all these. But we are digital immigrants, but we are now dealing with digital natives who want to be interactive and they want to be engaged in their learning. It is really very interesting. It is really very interesting. As I was just telling you, the attention span are decreasing. The digital natives have only 8 seconds. They say it is the goldfish that you find in your, at home when we have goldfish. The attention of the goldfish is only 8 seconds. Okay, and they say on an average a normal person looks at the mobile, whether the person gets a call or not, whether the person receives a message or not. An ordinary person looks at the mobile screen at least 58 times during the day. And we are told that normally when you have any presentations, it is only 8 minutes of attention that people are able to make. Only 8 minutes of attention. After that, people are distracted, and again they'll come back. And that is the reason why we need to have dynamic teaching approaches. It is very important because the consumers, that is the students, are changing. When the students are changing, we are forced to change. We cannot get stuck to our way of teaching, but we need to change with the changing situation. The next one is the role of NEP 2020 in encouraging pedagogical shifts. Yes, I am navigating into troubled waters, I understand. Especially Tamil Nadu is up in arms, especially regarding NEP. Okay, I'm not going into the politics of it. But certain parts of NEP, the national, the program, the new education policy or the national education policy 2020, it has got certain good things. Not that they are all new. They are all what we know already, but they are there. Leaving aside politics, there are very beautiful things there. The emphasis on experiential and competency-based learning is really beautiful. That is, this particular new education policy or the national education policy 2020 emphasizes on experiential learning. That is, you learn by doing. You learn by doing. So this is actually, it is quite very important. And also, they would like to go for mastering specific skills at an individual pace than completing fixed time courses. Also, it emphasizes real world applications, personalized learning, and then measurable outcomes. The student progress also by demonstrating proficiency in competencies, ensuring deeper understanding and practical ability rather than just theoretical knowledge or time spent in class. So dear friends, this is actually, it is wonderful actually for us to use it in a classroom. Also, context-based English language learning, it actually emphasizes on real life situations and also meaningful context rather than isolated grammar rules. All right. So it actually helps in the comprehension, retention, and the practical usage by integrating authentic materials, discussions, and as well as experiential learning. So this approach of context-based English learning helps connect language with everyday communication. Okay, and this actually makes it more engaging. Therefore, this aspect given in this NEP 2020 is also very useful. The multilingualism and the context-based. Okay, it is quite very good. The next aspect is The importance of 21st century skills. I already mentioned a few words about it. Dear friends, the 21st century skills in English teaching actually involves integrating critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, communication, and especially digital literacy enhances learning through technology, while cultural awareness fosters global perspectives. It actually, they engage in tasks like debates, storytelling, and multimedia projects develop real world skills, ensuring learners become adaptable, effective communicators in academic, professional, and social contexts. So, this 21st century skills are really very important. It is these skills that actually people are looking for today. So this also has a greater, it actually impacts the learning. All right. The next one is innovative teaching pedagogies for English classrooms. What are the innovative teaching pedagogies that are required for English classrooms? What are they? So, first of all, the task-based language teaching, TBLT, we know it quite very well, dear friends. Now, what is this task-based language teaching? Task-based language teaching approaches language teaching through real-life tasks. That is, anything is task-oriented. That, today we call in the smaller classes, especially at the primary, at the middle school levels, or even in the higher secondary levels, people call project. They call project. Projects are nothing but they are all TBLT. They are all little tasks. Go draw the picture of a butterfly and then mark all the parts and bring it. It is a task. But what is a TBLT tasks? TBLT tasks should use authentic language, use English language to achieve them. Simple thing. Say, I would like to go from here, I want to go to the bus stand. It is a task. I should ask the way to reach. I should ask in English and find out the way and reach the bus stand. Or I should go and get a product, a particular thing. I should go speak to the people and get exactly the product that one wants. So all these are all real life tasks. So these are the task based. So real life task based, that is real life tasks really are helpful. When exact tasks are given to students, the students are happy to complete and finish. And when they finish and when they are appreciated and when they are given the feedback, the students are really happy that they have taken a project or taken a task and that they are completing it. Simple examples like writing a blog or doing a role play or engaged in role playing activities, in doing certain dialogues in the classroom. All these are related to task-based language teaching. Now, one of my research scholar is actually doing a research on task-based language teaching with the technology integration. Now, you see, and interestingly, I just will share with you, this experiment is right now going on at the primary school, as well as in the high school, as well as at the college level. At 3 levels, this particular experimentation is going on in our setting here. Currently, the people are doing this. We just want to see how TBLT will be effective with the technology integration. And right now, more than about 20-25 classes are over right now. And people are very happy with the tasks which are technology integrated. So this is again another improvisation we can do, another innovation, not regular the tasks that we are involved in, but we would like to be involved with technology integrated as well. That is quite very useful, and it is proving to be very efficacious. The next one is actually communicative language teaching. I wouldn't like to take entirely going through all the approaches, the design, and the day-to-day implementation of CLT, but the focus is on LSRW. That is, focuses on speaking, listening, and real world communication. Okay, that is where the actual language teaching, where actual language, authentic language is in use in the classroom. This communicative language teaching helps a lot, especially with group discussions with regard to storytelling, debates. All these actually involve communicative language teaching. These are very, very helpful. And once again, you see, dear friends, student engagement is very much part of it. In group discussions, in storytelling, once again, storytelling using multimedia, using computer-based teaching, all these things happen, and they are very successful in all these. So this communicative language teaching is also one of the innovative teaching pedagogies for English classrooms. The next one is multiple intelligence method. I would be happy really to call one of my research scholars, just submitted her research with a multiple intelligence. How multiple intelligence can enhance language learning. The person has done it so well. It's a path-breaking research that this person has undertaken. It was really very, very good to travel with the person, as the person was involved in the intervention classes. It was very revealing. What is this multiple intelligence? You know very well. I don't want to be speaking something that you know already. I will just highlight something. Multiple intelligence, according to multiple intelligence, Harvard Gardner, he comes out with this particular idea, saying that everyone is intelligent. Everyone is intelligent in his or her own way. Every person is intelligent. Every person is gifted by God, gifted, by nature. That is, some people are good in linguistic or verbal. Some people, very easily they pick up language, that is linguistic or verbal. Some people struggle. They don't learn that easily. But some people just pick up the language just like that. So these people have linguistic or verbal intelligence. And, logical and mathematical. Not everyone is good at this. Few people are very good at logic. By mathematics, numbers, they can go step by step, step 1, step 2, step 3. They are able, very, very, very good. They are able to do problem solving. They are able to do wonderfully well. And visual and spatial. Some people are, visually, they are very good. I just wanted to bring something here from one of my scholars, actually. It was very interesting and it was eye-opening. That is, we wanted to, when the person wanted to do the research and then find out what is their profile, what they were good at. Most of these students from the neighboring, the neighborhood are from villages. So what we thought was that many of these learners would be naturalistic or natural intelligence, people with the naturalistic intelligence. But our great surprise, none of them chose naturalistic intelligence, or most of them chose, visual learners. They wanted to be more visual learners. That, the reason why they are like that, very well the reason. That is, we are now exposed to what we call screen, computer screen, mobile screen. We are all the time, bombarded by the screens around us. That is the reason why we have become more and more visual learners. So most of the students are visual learners today. They would like to see, not simply listen. They would like to see. The next one is bodily kinesthetic intelligence. That is, the sports people, the people who use their body for learning, experiential, touch and see and learn. This is another group of people. The next one is musical. You know that not everyone, some of us are talented in music, maybe singing, playing some instruments. But some of us are very good at listening to music. That's all. But these people with musical intelligence, they are not many. But we have to use that musical intelligence to teach them. Interpersonal and intrapersonal. You know very well, there are people who would be going and mingling with people, but they will never get, into the lives of people, or rather they will remain aloof. It is, there are interpersonal people who are very good at, making friends immediately, good at conversation, good at dialogue. They are able to pick up friendships very fast. So these are people blessed with interpersonal intelligence. And there are people with intrapersonal intelligence. That is, people who are very good at going into oneself, very good at reflection, very good at writing maybe stories or poems. They may not be great orators, but they are very good in knowing themselves, going into themselves, and then they are able to express themselves in very creative ways. They are people with intrapersonal and naturalistic. That is, people have an intelligence of being with nature. People who are close to nature, they are able to understand nature. So these are multiple intelligence. Now, how do we use them? We need to know how each individual is oriented. We need to know what is our strong point. Under this multiple intelligence, where am I strong? Where am I weak? So we need to focus on the intelligences with which we have naturally. So knowing them, once we are able to teach, then the students are able to learn with more engagement. So that is multiple intelligence method, it is very helpful. It is becoming more and more current today, that knowing the profile of the people, we can really know how to reach these students. The next one is blended learning approach. Blended learning, I will quickly pass over. Many of this you know very well. That is combining traditional methods with the digital tools. The traditional method of teaching, that in the traditional classroom, simply using maybe even computer, using the projector, using the PPT, PowerPoint presentation, using the videos, along with the regular, traditional lecture method, we can use many of them, like using videos, podcasts, and also to give them interactive assignments. It helps. So this is what we call blended learning. Blending two different ways, two or three or more ways of learning we can bring together. A classroom with a blended learning, it's really a very conducive classroom, especially for language learning. This is really very good. The next one is a flipped classroom model. Now, what is the meaning of flipped classroom? Flipped is just a turn around, turn the table around. What is the meaning? Simple, very simple to understand. Now, normally in a normal classroom, in a regular classroom, traditional classroom, we teach the lessons. Then we ask them to do the homework at home. This is a normal classroom. A flipped classroom is just turn this around. Give the lessons beforehand. Maybe you can give them some videos. Maybe you can give them some audios. Give them materials. Let them study at home. And you come back to the classroom and then you start discussing. Then you do discussions in the classroom. and then throw up some questions, come out with some solutions. This flipped classroom previously we used to do, when we talk about Bloom's taxonomy, the K levels, the understanding level, there is the knowledge level and understanding. These two, we used to do it in the classroom. The rest of it we used to say, please go home and you do this work. But now we want this to happen the other way. We say, you please understand, you go read, get the knowledge and understanding at home, come back to the classroom. Here in the classroom, you can have the application, you can have the analysis, you can have the synthesis, you can have the creativity. All these things can happen in the classroom. Therefore, what we wanted previously in the traditional classroom, we wanted those things to happen in the classroom, and at home now we just change sides, we just turn them around. This is what we call flipped classroom, because in a classroom, much more engaging activity, much more analysis with the guidance of the teacher present, the teacher can guide to what we call higher levels of learning. Okay, higher knowledge levels can happen in a flipped classroom. Especially this is true for a language classroom, where language practice can happen. The real life oriented or simulated things can happen inside the classroom. So in that way, flipped classrooms are really of great help. Then the next aspect of it is gamification in language learning. Now, what is this gamification? Dear friends, today everything, the students are mad after games, mad. Very well, I don't need to tell you. I have 101 examples after example. Students are mad after games. Anything to do with games, they are very fond of, rather they are crazy about it. So the idea is, why not bring this element of gamification? Why not, we talk in terms of what we call the gaming elements, like, points, badges, leaderboards, the challenges to enhance motivation and engagement. It actually promotes active learning, collaboration, retention through interactive tasks, quizzes, storytelling, and role playing. By making learning enjoyable and goal-oriented, gamification really, dear friend, fosters deeper language acquisition, and actually it sustains students' interest. In that way, gamification is a real blessing now. So anything can be seen as a game. This is what we do in the primary classrooms here. It's like, playway methods that we find in the primary schools. Why not we use such things today under the guise of gamification? It happens in the classrooms. More little of it that we will know. Like, for example, Duolingo. Okay, Duolingo is one of them. I in fact use it these days to learn few Hindi words. I do. Okay, we can, by learning, it actually helps very much. It is a gaming, through which we try to learn few of the words, even of any other language. It is very well, beautifully it is designed. I hope some of you are using this app. Okay, Duolingo, it's really wonderful. I wish that that you try. It is free. You can try them. The next one is differentiated instruction for diverse learners. Now, what is the meaning of it? The simple thing is, we have what we call mixed abilities students in our classroom. We have mixed ability students with varying abilities are sitting in our classroom. Therefore, when we teach, normally one group is actually completely ignored. Normally, a good teacher is the one who caters to the individual needs, how they are. Like multiple intelligence is one such thing, okay, that is catering to their individual needs. Now, the slow learners and average learners, advanced learners, all of them are in our classrooms. As a good teacher, we need to approach these students with different ways of engaging them. No group of students can be left out Everyone is important and we need students to be engaged. So that is the way, using visuals for struggling readers, all that. Okay, I'm just skipping this just to understand the meaning of it. The next one, how do we integrate technology in our English teaching classroom? How is technology integrated? Dear friends, we can use this, okay, like edutech tools. Some of the edutech tools, like for example, Google Classroom, you know very well, we have been quite a number of us we are using. Okay, Kahoot, we are, it is also very good, dear friends, to we can create game on our own. Very good for creating, quiz we can, especially for getting the feedback quick. It is really very good. Kahoot, I just do, there are so many tutorials that are available to us. Okay, and I also have attended some of the FDPs where people have taught us. I would welcome you, dear faculty members. This Kahoot is really very good for gaming. It is very good. The students are very much engaged when we use this tool. This particular app is very good. Please use it. Even Padlet, for example, it is really very good. It is an online collaborative tool. It actually allows users to create virtual boards for sharing text, images and video links, all the documents. It is very good. The Padlet, you can make a note of it. Padlet is also very good and very useful. Okay, it is an interactive board, for sharing information. All this, it is really very good for brainstorming, for discussions, for project collaborations, and interactive learning. Padlet is really very helpful and very useful. Please try this. And also today we have AI-based tools for grammar and pronunciation checks. Okay, they are really very good, especially for evaluation. It is really very good. I'm sorry, I'm just moving a little fast. So the benefits of technology in the Indian classroom, dear friends, it increases student engagement. That is the reason why I spoke to you about the engagement. This technology really brings the students engaged. I have seen it myself using it in the classroom. As soon as I say, take your mobiles, everybody is at it. Everybody, okay, go search, take this. Everybody is at it. Immediately, everyone is, okay, of course, there may be little distractions there. As teachers, we keep our eyes open and we are vigilant. We are there going around. But it actually encourages, and especially providing instant feedback. Technology is very helpful, especially for the Indian students. Giving feedback for everybody, it is good, and especially for Indian students, it is really very helpful. And the next one is the challenges and solutions in implementing technology. What are the challenges and for implementing? What are the challenges and solutions? First of all, you know very well, limited access to device. Here in our college, we have every day they have 1 hour of online. Every day, 1 hour of online. One of the common problem that we have is, as they're taking the attendance, somebody will immediately disappear or they will not be there. So they will say, sorry, no connection. Connection got cut. Suddenly it got switched off. They will tell you, and you have to believe them. Today, we don't know whether it is true, but this problem isn't there. And also some places do not have good connectivity. Okay, so the solution is using mobile friendly resources. Of course, we ask them to come to a place where there is good connectivity. And also another problem is for us, the teachers, we lack technology. We lack expertise in using technology. For that, for example, FDPs like this, or many of the FDPs which actually teach digital devices of using apps, these are quite very helpful. Attending, for us teachers, attending such digital literacy workshops and attending them, conducting them, really they are very helpful for us. All right, now the next one is also the beyond examination, that is new forms of assessment. Previously, dear friends, evaluation means only one: writing, writing. Of course, writing is very good, no doubt about it. But is that all? Is that all? Today, there are many other ways of evaluating. For example, project-based learning. We can make them to do book reviews and video projects that can be done. It is very good to know. I have tried out, many of these in the classrooms. When I tell the students, please, you speak, you please do the self introduction, in an informal setting, and in a formal setting, when you're going for a job interview, kindly introduce yourself, please do the video recording and send me this evening by 8 o'clock. I want it to be sent. You can be very sure 90% of them plus they respond immediately. And also we are able to go through and then give them individual feedback. This project-based learning helps a lot. This kind of video projects really encourage student engagement. And also portfolio assessment. That is actually the collection of students' work over time, showcasing their progress, their skills, their achievement. It includes essays, projects, reflections on multimedia content, all that. Today, portfolio assessment is one of the very important elements in going for assessment. It is very good. And also, of course, peer and self-assessment techniques are also very good, where the students assess, they correct, they tell us. It is also very good for us. Then the next one is just in line with the following, what I told you previously. The role of formative assessment is also very good. That is giving regular feedback than only the final exam. That is, the formative assessment and summative assessment. When you talk about formative, it actually happens on a continuous basis. What we call, in most of our higher education, we have CIA, continuous internal assessment. This continuous internal assessment is nothing but they are all formative assessments. It helps a lot. Example, exit tickets and reflection journals, making them to come out with a regular feedback. They are very, very helpful. And then going in for us teachers, going in for professional development actually helps a lot. Attending workshops on modern pedagogies and online courses, teacher communities actually being very, always tuned to the recent one. And we cannot be left far behind. Our students are few steps ahead of us, but at least we should be at least at par with them, or we need to be on par with them. We need to take it forward along with them. For that, we need to be continuously, we need to be learning and learning and learning. Being a continuous learner, we need to be. And also, as teachers, we need to be creating student-centered classroom. That is, encouraging active participation using real-world context in lessons, especially with the language learning. Bringing the real world, simulation of real-world situations. Okay, we need to. Situational language teaching is very, very important in this. Dear friends, also, we need to go for what is called collaborative learning approach. That is, the peer mentoring programs are really very helpful, and the group activities to enhance the teamwork skills are also very important, where the teams, putting them in teams. When I say all these, it is going to take time. When I say this, collaborative learning, making them to be involved, it takes time. Lecture method is very fast, very easy. But if we want real learning to take place, we need to try some of them. I will say at the end, at least one day at a time. That is one at a time. Keep trying. So collaborative, making the students to work in teams. Okay, it actually helps a lot. Team study, teamwork, all these things help very much. All right, dear friends, I'm coming to the end. I know we are now just 3 minutes away. Now, what are some of the takeaways from whatever I have tried to do? This is very important one is student engagement. That is, this is according to me, it is the driving force. If you are able to have the students engage in your lesson, in your teaching, in your language learning, if the students are engaged, if the students feel that I am part of the learning and I am responsible for my, if you are able to put that responsibility on the students, dear staff members, dear faculty, this student engagement is really, it is a game changer. So that is the first one we need to take out. That is the we need to take from this FDP. Second one, we need to go for pedagogical transformation. That is from student centered, that is from the teacher centered learning to student centered learning, and especially technology integration in our teaching learning process. These two are very important. Go for student centered learning and teaching. This is once again student engagement. Technology integration once again encourages student engagement. And the third one is growth mindset among teachers. That is, you try out new things among the student. Try out new things. Take one step at a time. That is the next one I'm trying to say. Okay, we teachers need to have that growth mindset. We need to have, I need to keep progressing. I need to learn something new. I need to be relevant to the students. Otherwise, we'll be branded old school. So we need to keep up with the students. That's what I mean by growth mindset among teachers. We need to try new things. And for us, Indian teachers, take small steps towards innovative teaching. That is, take one step. Take, for example, flipped classroom or collaborative teaching, or I integrate one particular technology. I use one app. Take one at a time and try to integrate into language teaching and learning. My dear staff members, faculty members, I have tried out. It is of great help. Students feel happy, students feel engaged. And finally, the management. The management has to provide training to staff members and also provide the needed resources. And I conclude saying this, that is, a teacher's role is not just to instruct, but inspire and empower. So, as such, dear faculty members and professors, our role, it's not just to instruct and come away, but inspire, to get involved, to empower ourselves and then to empower students through all the modern means. The modern means, everything. And as I said, in the post method pedagogy, we teachers, we are the ultimate people. We need to make that leap. Just leaving the teacher-centered method to student-centered method. That is, taking the students into confidence, making them to be part of our teaching learning, and then we empower them. When we empower them, their engagement is very high. And this engagement is what actually makes teaching learning possible. And this, according to me, is the new perspective that may not be new, revolutionary ideas. I believe this is very important for today's generation of youngsters who would like to learn, but not according to our plan, but according to their plan. They are ready. Are we ready? That is the question. Now, the question is with you. Thank you for your patient listening. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity.
Thank you, Father, for that very practical, informative, engaging, and researched session, Father. It was very informative. Now the floor is open for questions. Dear participants, I request you raise your hands. We shall go by the queue. If you have any questions, you can raise your hands. Professor Tamilmani has a question. He has raised his hand. Sir, do you have a question, sir?
Father, good evening, Father. Thank you for this very comprehensive and very insightful session, Father. Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank you very
you.
much.
Thank you, sir.
Father, one simple clarification, Father.
Yes, sir.
Some of our learners are very much diverted by the mobile, and their screen time is increasing every day, and they are unable to focus on, as our own practice, reading through the pages. So they
Exactly.
don't touch the book, and they don't do the traditional type of reading. In my view, that is why their attention span is very less. As you said in the very beginning, they are able to listen to any lecture only for about 8 seconds. After that, their attention is getting diverted and they are not in the class.
Absolutely.
So, what could be the remedy for that? As a practicing veteran teacher, please suggest them to go by your words. Please throw some light on it, Father.
Fine, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Sir, this is a real challenge. There is no doubt about it. It's a real challenge. Now, what has helped me is to present some of the lessons more digitally. Some of these lessons, I have asked some of the students to ask them to go through the book, come out with something and share it, online. I've asked them to go through the book. I used to give them some insights and then ask them to go through the book and then ask them to come out with a little videos, some of that audio talks, just a passage I used to give it, ask them to do, digitally. When I ask them to do it digitally, there is no other go but for them to go through. Also,
Yeah.
what happens? They go to the net and they try to find out all the possible resources. They pull out from there and they listen and they come out with it. It has helped me. Okay, it has helped actually. That is making the students to get involved. There is no other thing. That is, we need
Yes.
to think. It is actually, it makes us to think more. Think uh, for the students. That is, giving them a little passage, giving some important hints, saying, go and search for it. Go and look for some of these, and then why don't you prepare an audio and send me? Why don't you prepare a video? Why don't two of you join together and then give me a dialogue based on this? A little role play. Some of these
Yes.
actually, these things have helped. They have helped.
Yes,
And
sir.
also, we need to go to the net and then try to find some digital material.
Yes, Father.
It has helped actually.
Yes, Father. Yes, Father. Thank you for this wonderful suggestion, Father. It's a kind of differentiated form of advice, differentiated form of task in order to kindle their interest. Thank you, Father.
Exactly.
Wonderful, wonderful idea.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
sir.
Father.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for the entire thing, Father. It went up well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Father.
Yes, any other questions, participants?
There was something on the. There was a question.
Yes,
How
does
does
player role methodology help in digital learning?
How does role play methodology? Is that what
Yes.
Hema
Role play.
Malini ma'am? I think you have asked a question. How does role play methodology? Is that what you want to say?
Yes, sir.
You had asked a question.
Yes, sir. It's
How
role
the
play methodology, sir.
role play methodology.
Sorry, it's of a typo error, sir.
Exactly. Ma'am, role play methodology is, according to me, one of the best methodologies, especially for a language classroom. It plays a very big role. It plays a very big role. And in fact, in many of the classrooms, in the classes that I have tried out, role playing actually helps a lot. Okay. In fact, even this morning, I was doing a little role playing in the class between an agitated customer and the shopkeeper. Between them, how do they handle the customers? So I just put them. I just gave a thing like, you have bought a laptop just the previous day, and now it is not working, and the customer is very angry. He comes into the shop and he's yelling and shouting, Now the shopkeeper, come on, you come and deal with the person. So, and it was very interesting. Everybody was laughing, but at the end of the day, the role playing, people were able to remember. Okay, at the end of the class, I just asked. Everybody was coming out to with that person. He said that we could see that he was very angry. Everybody was very attentive. Very everybody was attentive. So this role playing is very good, and you can do this as a sort of a flipped classroom. Also, you can do it. Ask them to go through, prepare some of the dialogues. Put 2-3 people together, prepare, come to the class, and you practice. It is very engaging, as well as the retention, because the entire person is involved. Their speech, their audio, their gesture, their emotion, all of them are actually bundled into this. As such, role playing helps a lot, and especially little children, it is a fun. It is a fun, and it is really very, very good. It helps very much. Even higher education, it helps.
One more question is there for how to remove the mother language impact on English language learning.
Okay, how to remove the mother tongue influence, right? Right. It's a nice, very nice, good question. In fact, in many of the sessions, we used to do this first. Mother tongue influence. I'll tell you how to. I used to tell the teachers, not only the English teachers. I used to ask all the teachers. I used to tell people this way: every teacher is a language teacher. Every teacher is a language teacher. Now, how do we, make them to overcome this particular problem of the influence of mother tongue? Is this. I used to tell them, whatever that you are using in the class repeatedly, in your mother tongue. For example, a simple thing like, who is absent today? Every class, this question is going to be asked. Who is absent today? What happened to Suresh? He's not there. Hello, where is your book? Have you not brought your notebook? Whatever that you repeat again and again and again, even in a normal, not necessarily language classroom, even in other classes, I used to tell every teacher to use that English. Everything is in English. You keep using it again and again. What you keep listening again and again, it gets retained. Remember how we learned our mother tongue? It is only through listening, repeated listening. For months and months we have been listening. Only then we began to speak. So remember, in the classroom, every teacher, those of you who are in the management, please tell your management to instruct teachers that anything and everything that you repeat again and again, simple thing, where is your notebook? Where is your uniform? What happened to your pen? Where is your book? Open your book, close your books, look at me. Anything and everything. Try to speak all these in English. When you do this in English again and again and again, it actually reduces the influence of mother tongue, number one. Number two, there are certain things, at least in, Tamil and English, there are certain things, we keep talking. Like in Tamil, we say, he dashed on me. He dashed on me. I am angry on you. This is in Tamil. Yammala kovamargram. Yammala moditam. We used to say, all right, in English, we don't say that. He dashed against me. You are not angry on me, but you are angry with me. So certain of these things, where the mother tongue influence, just because, this is the way it is written. Similarly, I used to, draw a line on the board and say, do you walk on the road or do you walk in the road? And I used to draw a line on the board and say, when you say I walk in the road, means you walk below, you go under the road and walk. So they used to laugh. Yeah, I say in and on. It is very important. So we walk on the road, not in the road. We dash against the tree and against a person, not on. Similarly, we get angry with the person, not on the person. So I used to have a collection of these, the mother tongue influence. That is how the mother tongue influence is. It's very much, it is there. So what happens is, we used to tell all these. So it helps the students to keep correcting one by one. It is not that easy. It cannot happen overnight. But we need to. Whenever I come across this, I used to tell people, make a note and tell them this is the way. Similarly, I used to say, for example, the pronunciation. Okay, for example, oil, O-I-L, oil. So I used to say, normally we Tamils are very famous for oil, we say. Say for our counterparts in Kerala, for them it is O is very pronounced. So it's a oil. So I say neither oil, neither oil, both are wrong. So we say it is between O and oil. So we used to say oil. So whenever we come across this kind of, mother tongue influence, we try to intervene and tell them what is the wrong and what is the right thing. This actually, there is an impact of Punjabi language on our students. Yes, true, very true. But you need to tell us actually. You need to tell us, we will learn. Is there anything else that I can?
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, we shall have the vote of thanks, Father. May I invite Professor Abiba to propose the vote of thanks?
So it is my privilege to extend a heartfelt vote of thanks at the conclusion of the first day of this 2-day virtual faculty development program on the need for change in teaching pedagogies in the English classroom, new perspectives. I sincerely thank Reverend Dr. K. A. Maria Arokeraj, Additional Principal and Research Head, for his insightful session and valuable guidance, which has given us a fresh perspective on teaching methodologies. My deep appreciation to Professor Arul Das, Head of the UG Department of English, for his support and encouragement in making this program a success. A special thanks to Dr. Julian, FDB coordinator, for his dedicated efforts in planning and organizing this event smoothly. Finally, I extend my gratitude to all the faculty members, participants, and organizers for their active involvement and support. Your presence and contribution have made this session truly enriching. So thank you all. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Abiba.
Thank you, Dr. Julian. Thank you, Dr. Father Sir Maria Arokeraj. Thank you.
Thank you,
So
sir.
really,
Thank you very much, sir. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, dear participants. Tomorrow we will meet again at 6 p.m. for Professor Tamil Mani's talk on evolving pedagogies for the 21st century learners. Wish to see you back tomorrow. Thank you for your eager participation. See you tomorrow.
Thank you, Julian. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Father. Thank you so much, Father.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.